Good evening, everybody. I don't know how early or how late it is now where you are. It's 4:30 p.m. in Moscow. I am Professor Boris Makarenko of the HSE High School of Economics University. On my left is Arseny Starenchenko. We are respectively academic supervisor and manager of the new master's program in Russian studies offered by the HSE University. I'll introduce you to the program, and let me start right with the title page, which presumably you can see on the screen. When we were selecting a logo for this program, I insisted on a replica of a painting by 20th century Russian painter Aristarchus Intulov. The picture depicts Cathedral of Dormition of the Moscow Kremlin, the Cathedral of Patriarch of Russia, the most holy church in this country, but it's depicted in a modern way. So yes, the program is about Russia with its unique history and culture, but the program is primarily about Russia of today and tomorrow. Some basic facts about the program. It is being launched this year. We invite you to join the first intake of the program for September 2019. It's a full-time master's program. The field of study is political science. I'll tell you how it's somewhat different from most other programs in Russian and or Eurasian studies offered by other universities in Russia and abroad. Our focus and our major is political science. The program is completely in the English language. You are not required to speak a single word of Russian. Bad news probably for someone. On the first year, we are not in a position to offer any scholarships or even discounts. Tuition for the program is about 5,000 euro per academic year. If you are interested in how you can pay, how many installments you can make, Arseny will be happy to answer your questions. Now, what's the concept of the program? Here on this slide, we announce our creed to teach you the art of understanding Russia. You can see two portraits and two quotations. One is from Winston Churchill, who said that Russia is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. A Russian poet of 19th century, Fyodor Tuchev, in his famous verse claimed that Russia cannot be measured by a common yardstick. One has to believe in it rather than comprehend it in reasons. Both gentlemen assume that regular science or regular rational mind is unable to understand and analyze Russia. We challenge these assumptions. We believe that the yardstick to measure Russia is comparative political science. Each country is unique. In each country, laws of politics, laws of society act differently. Thick culture in every country is very different. The thin culture, the basic trends and phenomena are the same. All you have to do is to learn facts, figures, theories, and learn how to apply these to Russia. That's what our academic team, our faculty members will help you to do in the next 2 years. Now let me advertise the program. Advantage number one, to learn Russian, you are better off if you are in Russia, in the heart of Russia. I measured by Google Maps the distance between the building of the High School of Economics, which you can see in the right-hand corner of the slide, and the Kremlin. It's 1.18 kilometers or 0.73 miles. Why we believe that the program is worth considering? First of all, the university. We call it a higher school of much more than economics. 25 plus years of its existence, it developed into one of the leading Russian universities, applying most advanced and modern educational techniques, and it ranks high in many international ratings, including in the field of political science. How did this program came into being? The faculty team of political scientists, sociologists, psychologists, demographers is working in the university for more than 20 years. The program in political science offered by this university was one of the first in post-communist Russia. This team knows Russia, this team knows how to teach Russian, and this team does speak English. So basically we translated our knowledge into English, and we are ready to transfer that knowledge of Russian politics and society to anyone who aspires to work with Russia and or in Russia. Our faculty members are, of course, academics, but many of them have a record of advising government agencies, doing electoral campaigns, elaborating development strategies for regional and municipal governments. Our knowledge of Russia does not come only from books or TV and even social media. We know Russian politics firsthand. For myself, I am president of Center for Political Technologies, one of the oldest political consultancy groups in Russia, which is as old as HSC. It was established in 1991. Is it easy to combine consulting and teaching in the university? Yes and no. No, because there's never enough time for both. My day consists of the same 24 hours as for anyone else. Yes, because when I analyze Russian politics, I analyze it based on my own experience in political consulting. So our approach to studying Russia is academically comprehensive but practically oriented. And of course, another advantage with studying Russia in Russia, you'll have many avenues to know the country better, to travel, to make friendships, to learn Russian. We'll come to that too. How is the program built? First of all, the program has a major of political science. Many other programs which claim to be similar focus either on Russian culture, philology, literature, or on international relations in the Eurasian region. We have all that. I cannot imagine teaching Russia without references to Russian culture and without comparing Russia to its immediate neighbors, former Soviet republics or post-communist countries. However, our focus is on political science, comparative politics. Therefore, you'll have to study 2 required courses in political science to earn that major, plus attend a research seminar. Then you have several required courses of Russian studies, mostly dealing with political science and sociology. Then we offer several baskets. Each basket contains normally 2, sometimes 3 courses to select from. So depending on what kind of career and what kind of focus you have in mind, you can concentrate either on political science proper, or on sociology, or on, say, demography, or the economic side, political economy, Russia's economic relations with the rest of the world. Another sort of subfield is Russia and the world. Russian geopolitical situation and Russia's relations with its most important partners. Besides, we have several optional courses, one of which is an intensive course in the Russian language. I repeat, you are not required to speak Russian. You can complete the program without it, but if you are spending 2 years in Russia, learning Russian, becoming fluent in Russian is another competitive advantage for yourself. That was it. Probably one other thing I want to say, this is the question frequently asked. What do I do if and when I complete the program? My answer is, and it is based on the experience of alumni of the Ohio School of Economics, where you will be open for any kind of academic career, doing PhD in the same university or another university, but mostly the program is practically oriented. Government service, diplomatic service, NGOs, and of course business. Russia is developing its relations with both East and West. Russia specialists are in high demand in many parts of the world. So you are welcome to consider the program if you have any questions. So far, I do not see any questions on my chat. Aha, here comes the first one. Someone asks for a phone call to explain the situation. Can you contact this person and arrange for a phone call?
Yeah, sure, but it's better to use some VoIP like Skype or anything. Here in the end of the presentation, you can see the email address. You can send all your contacts on this address, and I will reply to you. We will arrange a call, Skype call, or anything. So yeah. Okay, great.
Okay.
Send an email on
yes.
this.
Anyway, a Skype interview is part of the application process, so why don't we start with it? Is the thesis semester. Arseny is doing all the work plans. Can you answer this one?
Basically, yeah. Fourth semester is it's almost free to do your thesis work. There is something there is an internship in fourth semester, but other than that, it's mostly it's devoted to your thesis work. So there will be a separate special time for writing your thesis. Yes.
Yeah. Now that this topic came up, let me give you a brief picture of how the study plan is built. Normally, master's programs at this university are offered in the evenings or weekdays. You'll have 3 hours, 3 astronomical hours of lectures and seminars every weekday from 6 to 9. Some courses, like intensive courses in Russian, could be offered earlier than that, over and above the program. Otherwise, there's a research seminar, there's a project seminar, which will help you to learn things practical. And yes, internship and time to concentrate. As a professor, I strongly recommend you not to start your thesis during the fourth semester. Please do it much earlier. Will be much more helpful. The admissions requirement. Okay. Question about essay writing. You will have to use specific formats if and when you are admitted. For the essay, it will be important for me to understand what kind of source you are using. I don't care too much about how accurate is the format of the references. The list of suggested topics for an essay can be found on the program website. While we're waiting for next questions to come, one other thing. The deadline for applications is August 20, but I strongly urge you to do it at your earliest convenience, because first of all we'll need to make an interview with you, we need some time to evaluate your portfolio, and then of course, particularly if you require a Russian visa, the processing will take some time. So please do it within the next couple of months. I don't see any more questions. If all courses will be in Moscow. This university has campuses in St. Petersburg and two other Russian cities, Nizhny Novgorod and Perm. You will have a chance to visit other campuses, and of course St. Petersburg campus has a strong program in political science, so it's very much worth visiting, but the program is offered in Moscow. In terms of living expenses, how expensive is accommodation? The dormitory is reasonably cheap. It's 1,000 rubles per month, if I'm not mistaken.
Not more than 1,500. Yes, it's kind of like $20, $20 per 1 month. Yes.
Yeah, that is cheap. Or if you ask how much you need to spend a month in Moscow, what we hear from many international students, the median is about $500 US, 500 euro. And you also get a student's card, which will entitle you to certain discounts, for example, discounted use of public transportation in Moscow.
Is it possible to get admission if accepted?
Oh, forget it. Is it possible to get an admission? Oh, okay. Somebody asks how early can he or she learn about a positive answer to the application. Basically, yes. Once you send in the portfolio, a complete portfolio, Arseny will contact you to set date for a Skype interview, which in most cases the next day after the contact or like that. After the interview, we need a couple of days to complete the evaluation. If admitted, we'll send you an invitation, and then in your cabinet you just click yes, that you accept the invitation, and that's pretty much you are admitted. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if you are interested in doing it earlier, please turn in your application as soon as possible. It will take not more than a week after that. Okay, two very good questions. How quantitative is the coursework? Is it very math heavy? Political science of today tends to get heavier and heavier in maths. That's true. And this university, its Department of Political Science, is in this trend. We are aware of the situation. We know that the program may attract people with diverse interests and diverse skills in mathematics. We try to do it bearable in terms of math. well advised not to make it math heavy, but yes, you'll have to crunch some numbers. The minimum required. Is the program better suited to someone interested in a research academic career? As I said, we will try to prepare you for any kind of career, but of course I work for this university and I'm not in a position to criticize other universities of Moscow or other Russian cities. But I would say that the quality of academic education in the field of political science in this university is as good as anywhere. Uh, if I had to, if I wanted to pursue an academic career in political science, I would have certainly entered this university. And we have our own PhD program. And yes, one other thing which is new for Russia and new for this university, until recently all PhD degrees in this country were awarded by the government, by the Ministry of Education. Only since 2018, several leading universities, including HSC, got a right to award PhD degrees of the university. We are one of them. So if you are willing, you can start your master's program and continue all the way to getting a PhD here. Arseny, I don't think our students have a legal ban on working.
Oh, well. It depends on, well, you should be getting a special working permit from the state, but it's not a big deal actually. So yes, it's permissible. It's not a huge problem, but you'll have to do some paperwork to obtain a working permit in Russia. But there is a lot of foreigners working here, so it's okay.
And besides, this university offers part-time job, some of which require language skills within the university. That's also an option.
Yes. So there is a lot I know. The guys from United States, from UK, teaching English in Moscow. So they are doing it somehow. So you will be able to as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No more questions appearing on the website. Please, we'll stay online for another couple of minutes. If within, say, a couple of minutes we don't see any new questions on the chat, we'll thank you and say goodbye. Go up the chat to make sure that we did not miss. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Is interdisciplinary something you promote? Yes. In fact, the program is interdisciplinary. Please understand, we have to award you a degree, a diploma, and that diploma has to be in something. Political science seems to be the most relevant field, but many courses, if you look at the list of courses offered by the program, you'll see that some of them are on the brink of political science and sociology, political science and demography, political science and economics. Well, international relations is part of political science. De facto, the program is interdisciplinary, but we have to officially present it as a political science program. But of course, we are aware of the trend of interdisciplinary studies in university education. I know that often Central Asians or those of Central Asia can have a difficult time. Migration problem, added to immigrants, certainly exists everywhere. But Moscow is a tolerant and safe city. That does not mean that incidents don't happen, but I would say that racial problem, racial incidents, hatred are quite low in Moscow. Moscow is safe for everyone, including people coming from other races and other places. Social science, like a gentile realism? Huh. You caught me. Let me check what a gentile realism means. I'll be happy to answer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. I'll go Yahoo to check what the theory is. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Well, we've been online for half an hour now. Please consider what you heard from us. Feel free to write to ask more questions. Somebody asked for a Skype interview. We'd be happy to answer. And please give a serious consideration to applying. Does the program complete one's fluency in Russian? Well, I think I covered that. You will be offered as an optional subject an intensive course of Russian. Not to complete the program, but to add to earn another competitive advantage. How fluent you are in Russian in 2 years, let's see. I'd be happy to talk to you in Russian 2 years from now. Depends on you. Uh-huh. I hope that living and working in Ukraine will not add any difficulty to obtaining the Russian visa, but please understand that we are not the agency that considers and issues Russian visas. We will provide visa support and hopefully we'll see you clearing all the visa formalities in due time. And the earlier you apply, the earlier you'll get a reply and start the visa application process.
Yeah, but usually that's not a problem. There's a lot of guys from Ukraine are studying here in our university, so I never heard about anyone who was having any problems with the visa from Ukraine or because of visiting Ukraine or any other country, basically. Mm-hmm.
I have a Ukrainian student as a teaching assistant in one of my courses. Well, this is your last chance to ask a question. While I am saying goodbye, hoping to receive your applications within the next weeks and wishing you success in the application process. And again, we are ready to ask any questions which may arise in the process of considering the application, writing the essay, putting together a portfolio. Since no new questions appear in the chat, good evening and good luck and goodbye.